guys! Welcome to another episode of Beauty Beacons. Today I'm going to talk about Mary Stuart, or Mary I of Scotland, also known as Mary Queen of Scots. Mary was a Queen of Scotland in the 16th century, and she was also a Queen Consort of France for a brief period before her French husband died. And she is considered to be one of the most beautiful queens in history. She was described as absolutely strikingly beautiful, very attractive. She charmed many a man here and there. She really fit the beauty ideal of the time. She had very bright red hair. You can see that in paintings of her. A gorgeous, beautiful, bright red hair with little curls, and apparently she was also very intelligent and charming. So she had a pretty tragic life. I guess you could say pretty much everything that could go wrong went wrong in her life, and in the end she was executed. It's quite a sad tale, to be honest. But since she was so beautiful and attractive, she went down in history as a true beauty beacon. So today I'm going to try and recreate her look. So let's start with the makeup. I'm going to start by applying a base of foundation. And I'm going to try and go for a light foundation. She had porcelain white skin, so I'm going to try and make mine look as pale as possible, or as pale as I can with it still looking natural. So starting with a layer of foundation. And when that is blended, I'm going to apply a very light concealer on, well, underneath my eyes and then also on the high points of my face to kind of highlight and just brighten up my face in general. So when that is done, I'm going to powder everything off with a layer of powder to make sure everything is set. And then I'm going to take a contour powder and try and kind of alter my face to look a little bit more similar to her. So first thing I'm going to do is make a little bit of a larger shadow underneath my chin. And then I'm going to contour my nose. She had this long, slender kind of type of nose that her cousin Elizabeth of England also had. So I'm going to try and kind of simulate that on my own nose. So I'm going to contour the outsides and kind of the under part of my nose, or what it's supposed to be. And then I'm going to highlight the center to make my nose look longer and slimmer. So as for the lips, I'm going to completely mute those out with concealer and then go over with a nude colored lip pencil. I'm going to draw on a shape of lips that is more similar to hers. So I'm going to draw a pretty wide cupid's bow and then quite thin lips, or at least a little bit thinner than mine are. And then I'm going to fill this in with a warm toned nude lipstick. This is what I see in most of her paintings. Alright, so that's the makeup all done. Now moving on to the hair. I took quite a long time figuring out how her hairstyle works and how I can recreate it. So I think I'm cheating my way through this one a little bit, but you're gonna have to bear with me because I just couldn't do it on my own hair. So this is what it ended up looking like, and I think it looks pretty authentic anyway. So I'm going to start by making a middle parting on the center of my head and dividing out two pieces in the front. So from that center parting towards right behind my ear on both sides. Then I'm going to take one of the sides and backcomb the back of this, and I'm going to make sure to backcomb more on the part that is closest to my ear and less towards my parting to kind of create that typical shape that she has going on in the front. So then I'm going to pull this back, again trying to kind of simulate that shape, and pin it down there with a bobby pin. Now, like I mentioned before, Mary has these tiny red curls. I decided to keep my hair straight because there isn't really any way for me to make those curls on my own hair. Okay, so when I've done that on both sides, it is time to work on the back of the hair. So after a lot of thinking and trying of different styles, I decided to go with two braids in the back. So I'm going to separate my hair in half, take the first half and start braiding this around halfway on the back of my head. So pretty much in the center. And just make a normal English braid. Then do the same thing with the other side. So again, make a braid on the center of my head. And when both are done and tied off, I'm going to wrap these around my head to kind of create the look of a crown braid, pinning them with bobby pins wherever it is needed. So in the front, I'm not crossing them over, I'm just going to lay these braids in front of each other and pin the tail of the one braid underneath the other braid, so that the tails kind of disappear. And just use loads of bobby pins for this one, make sure everything is nice and secure. Time to accessorize! I saw pearls in loads of her paintings. Pearls were all the hype back then. So I'm going to take a string of pearls and wrap this around the crown braid-ish thing that I just made. You can secure it with a couple of bobby pins if you like. And then I took a second string of pearls and I just applied that right behind those poofy bits that I have in the front here. And I pinned them right behind my ears to kind of hide the end of my string of pearls. Now, as far as outfits go, Mary Queen of Scots is also dubbed the White Queen, because white was the color of mourning back then, and she wore white veils in mourning of her husbands that had passed away. So I'd advise you to wear something white. You can even wear a little kind of piece of lace fabric like that. She wore that a lot in her later life. This is a look from when she was a little bit younger, but later in her life she often wore a piece of lace like that, draped over her hair. So you can go for that if you want to recreate kind of that recognizable Mary Queen of Scots look. But this is all that I have for today's tutorial, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. If you have any requests for historical beauty icons that you would like me to recreate the looks of in this series, then please leave a request in the comments below and I will look through and pick someone out for next week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!